Hey guys, Natalie Fleming again, and today we are going to discuss everything involving your swing, from the stance to going to toe touch, to contact, to extension, and then our follow through. So to start, when we get in our stance, I want you to think feet are even. So if you were to draw a line on the ground, both feet would be touching that line. And we want our feet both facing straight forward. So we don't want them turned way in and we don't want them turned way out. Okay, then from here, I want you guys just to put your bat up on your shoulder. Think body weight is even, 50-50 on each leg. So we got the bat up on our shoulder. Then from here, we're just gonna bend our legs. We're gonna lift that bat up. So with our hands, we wanna think about even with our ear. We don't want it to be too close, so we wanna think hands back towards the catcher, but then also back over our shoulder. So we don't want our hands to be way out this direction. Okay, so we got our feet where we want them. We have the bat in our hands where we want it. So then with the barrel of our bat, we want it about facing straight back. So we don't want it cocked way around our body. And then we also want it about at like a 45-degree angle. So you see here, so when it's over our shoulder, we want it here, not straight up and down, and not facing down towards our butt. Okay, so now hands are up. Feet are even, body weight is 50-50. So now the next thing to think, and this is very, very important, you'll hear us talk about shoulder tilt a ton. So we want to think drop into shoulder tilt. So with shoulder tilt, we want to think our shoulders just tilt downward just slightly. So we'll think our front shoulder is just below our back shoulder. And with that, our hips will also be in a little bit of shoulder tilt. So we go from being here to here, okay? So now you're in your stance. So now from here, the next step would be going to toe touch. So when we go to toe touch, everything stays the exact same as our stance, except for we move forward, okay? So once we take our step, now we've gone to toe touch. So think however far our foot goes, our shoulder goes with it. So if we were to draw a circle on our belt button buckle here, okay, that circle, when we move to toe touch, should move completely forward. So you see we have our first circle, then we go to toe touch. Our second circle has shifted completely forward. So that is our positive move. We're trying to create positive move as we go to toe touch. So now let's go back to our stance. As we go to toe touch, okay, remember how I said nothing moves besides stepping forward. So that means our hands have stayed up and back. We don't want them to creep forward on us. So we have our hands up and back. We stayed in our shoulder tilt, so this is very, very important. If we lose our shoulder tilt, we're gonna drop our hands, and then as we go to contact, we're gonna drop the barrel. So our whole thing with hitting, swinging the bat, everything, we wanna think, come down, attack down on top of the ball, and then level through our swing. So as we go to toe touch, very, very important to stay in our shoulder tilt. So with this, when we were in our stance, we talked about being 50-50 body weight. Once we go to toe touch, we want our weight slightly more forward. So we want to think about 60-40. So 60% of our weight on our front leg, 40% on our back leg, okay? So then also with that, when we step, we still want both of our feet in that straight line that we talked about before, and our toes still facing forward. So when we go to toe touch, we don't want to let ourselves open up, okay? So if our front foot opens, our front shoulder goes out, and then you will lose a lot of power that way. Okay, so now we've done our stance, we've gone to toe touch. Next up now would be going to contact. So when we go to contact, we want to think our hips and our hands go together, okay? So our back hip and our hands will start going forward together. We want to think lead with our front elbow and our knob pulling inside the ball. So here, and then from here, you'll think snap your wrist in a straight line. You'll see the barrel, this is your barrel, going in a straight line down on top of the ball, okay? So here, now we are at contact. So when we're at contact, we want to think hit the top inside part of the ball. So I always tell our kids when we're hitting, don't just stare at the whole ball. So when the ball is coming in or it's sitting on the tee, you're looking at the top inside part of the ball, and that's where you're aiming at. So when we teach going to contact and we teach hitting the top inside part of the ball, when you do this, it will not make you hit ground balls. Okay, we want to hit hard line drives. So as the ball is coming in, think about this. The pitcher releases the ball from her hip. Okay, so in softball, if the ball is pitched or comes in the strike zone between your hip and basically your chest, the ball is naturally coming up, okay? Even if it's a drop ball is coming up. So we teach to get on plane with the pitch as it's coming in. That's why we talk about hitting the ball on the top inside part, okay? So here we have come down, hitting that top part of the ball, inside part of the ball, and then as we push into extension, that's what pushes the ball into a hard line drive. So like I said, we're coming down to the ball, but we don't continue down. Okay, if we continue down, yes, that will hit a hard ground ball, but we want to think coming down, top inside part of that ball, and then continuing straight level through to hit those hard line drives that just kind of carry up. So now our back leg is down and bent. We're in that strong position. We're at contact. Then from here, you want to think snap your wrist this direction. So Dad always teaches like casting a fishing pole, okay? So that would be from contact to extension, pushing through. So once you've made contact, as you're going to extension with that wrist snap, you'll think continue your hands out and snap those wrists at the same time. So that gives you that extra pop and hitting the ball up the middle instead of pulling the ball every time. So that extension is very important. Okay, it happens fast, it's hard to feel, but the better you get at it, the more it's gonna help, okay? So once we've made extension, then from there, you just let the bat follow through and you have your swing. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave me a comment below. See you next time.